Okay, good morning. In the previous lesson, we talked about how can we solve quadratic equations. To solve it, we have two ways, by graphing and by solving or by using the square. We said how can we solve if we graph, then after that the values of the numbers that intercept the x-axis will be the solution, will be the zeros, or will be the solution of the equation. If it's intercepted with 2 points, I say they have two solutions. If it's intercepted with 1 point, we have one solution. And if there's no point that intercept the x-axis, we say that there's no solution. And the other way, we called it using the square root. This way, as you see now, if there's no value of b, it's like only. We said that before. We have this is now the standard form of the quadratic equation. In this lesson, we learn how can we find the solution of this equation, but if there's no bx, if it is only x squared plus c. We will learn in this lesson how can we find the solution, or how can we find the values of the variable c. Next lesson, we will learn if there's a variable b now, what do we have to do? How can we solve the equation? So in this lesson here, b is 0. There's no b. Only I have an x squared plus c, variable plus a number, or a variable minus a number. And we need to solve it. Let's see now. These examples here. Number 26, we have a 64b squared equals 16. So I need b. b squared is multiplied by 64. So what I have to do? I have to divide by what?
I have to divide by 16.
By 64.
64,
the
yes.
number that is multiplied by the variable. Then now, b squared.
Yes.
Yes, is 16. Oh, yes, sorry. By 64. Now, I told you that I didn't want b squared. I want only b. So under square root, under square root. So b is, are the number 16 and number 64 as a perfect square?
Yes.
Yes. What is the square root of 16?
4.
And of 64?
8.
8. So 4 over 8 and 1 over 4. Is it only 4 over 8 or plus and minus 4 over 8?
Plus and minus 4 over 8.
Thank you. So these are now the values of the solution of the number 26, which is half and negative half. Let's now do, I think this we solved number 27. Let's do now number 28.
Now, teacher, we made the opposite. We solved 26, but we didn't solve 27.
Yes. We solved 27.
Okay. I mean that we solved 26, but I said the wrong numbers. Now, in number 27 here, we have 5q squared minus 20 equals 0. To solve it, we must isolate a variable on a side and a number on the other side. So what is the number that is multiplied or that is divided, subtracted or added to 5q squared? It's a 20.
5. Oh.
It's added. So then plus opposite opposite. So 5q squared is equal to 20. 5q squared equals 20. Is it right?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
teacher.
Divide
Yes,
by,
teacher.
what is the number that is multiplied by q squared?
5.
5. So divide by 5, divide by 5. So q squared is equal to, equals 4. So q equals what? What is the square root of 4?
2.
2.
2 and negative
The
2.
square root. Bravo, positive. 2. These are the two values of
Teacher, why 2 and negative 2 if 4 is positive?
yeah, but I told you here, if you have a variable q squared equal 4, that's mean if you multiply 2 times 2, you get 4. And if you multiply negative 2 times negative 2, you get 4. Here, that means 2.
Teacher, both of them are negative 2 or one of them is negative 2?
It's like this. That's mean two solutions. 2 times 2 or negative 2 times negative 2. Not positive 2 with negative 2. No, I mean that one of the variable is 2. One of the numbers is 2. So the other one will be the same, which is 2. Or negative 2, or the one that is the same, which is negative 2 also, you get 4.
Thank you, teacher.
We must put positive and negative. Now, solve each equation by finding the square root. If the equation has no real number solution, write no solution. If a solution is irrational, round it to the nearest 10. Look at number 43. The number 43 here, we have a 1.2 z squared minus 7 equal negative 34. Then plus then plus 7 because as I told you, I want to isolate a variable on the side and the number on the other side. So which is 1.2 z squared equal negative 34 plus 7 is negative 27. So here I will repeat. I have a 1.2 z squared minus 7 equal negative 34. I want to isolate now a variable on a variable on the side and the other numbers on the other side. How? I will look at the variable. This variable is subtracted from 7. Our 7 is subtracted from this variable. What is the opposite of subtraction? Addition. Plus 7 in both sides. I'll get now 1.2 z squared equal negative 27. Then divide by 1.2, divide by 1.2. So z squared now is negative 27 over 1.2. Now let's make it as try to since now the calculator is not allowed, so you can tell me it is z, it is the square root of positive or negative, the square root of 27 over 1.2. And since there's no calculator, so it can tell me that z is positive or negative, the square root of 27 over 1.2. Okay. Hello.
Okay, yes.
Yes, teacher.
Yes,
Okay.
miss.
Or
Yes, miss.
this is our Hela. You can also
Teacher, how you remove the negative sign?
Oh, this is by wrong, sorry. Here, but sorry. Thank you, Farah. Here now, I said under square root. Now look at the number here. Is it a number, the negative number? Is there a square root for a negative number?
No.
No, teacher.
No.
No solution.
So I will say no solution. Since a number here is a negative, which is negative 27 over 1.2, that means there's no square root for any negative number. So there's no solution. Okay, now let's do number. Is it clear?
Yes, miss.
Okay, let's do now to number 45. In number 45 here, 3m squared minus 1 over 12, yeah, equals 0. So I have to isolate the number on the side and the other on the other side. So 1 over 12. So I will get now 3m squared equal 1 over 12. Let's divide by what now?
By 3.
By
But
3.
I will make the
3
reciprocal.
by 3. Then 3 by 3 is 1. So m squared is 1 over 12 divide by 3. Now, as you remembered in grade 6, if you have to divide two fractions, keep the first one as it is, change the sign to the division to be as a multiply, and change the reciprocal of 3, which is 1 over.
1 over 4.
This is m squared. So m squared is 1 over 12 times 3, 36. Is it right?
What? Oh, yes.
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 Multiply the numerator and multiply the denominator. Under square root. So m is positive, negative.
1 over 6.
Thank you. 1 over 6, which is the square root of 1 and the square root of 36. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes, miss.
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Let's do number 48 now. In number 48 here, you have a negative 1 over 4x squared plus 3 equals 0. So then, minus 3 minus 3. So, negative 1 over 4x squared is equal to negative 3. Then, this is a number, a fraction multiplied by x squared. What I have to do, I want to isolate it. I want to keep it as x squared. So I will multiply by what?
I will multiply by negative 1 over 4.
Negative 1 over 4.
Which is the reciprocal. Thank you. No, the reciprocal. 4 over 1.
4 over 1.
By multiplying by reciprocal, I will isolate it to keep it as an x squared, which is equal to 12. X squared equal 12. So what is about the value of x? What I have to do now? Under the square root. So x, it will be positive, negative square root of 12. Is this clear?
Wait, teacher.
Once again,
Yes, Dana.
can you please repeat it again?
Okay. All of it?
Only, yeah, 48.
Okay.
Teacher,
Yes.
Yes, that's because me too, I didn't
Teacher,
understand.
negative 1 over 4 is multiplied or divided by x to the power of 2.
No, negative 1 over 4 multiplied by x squared.
So why did we make it divide? Not like number 43 or 45.
Number 45, it is 3m squared. There's a number multiplied, yes, so you divide by 3 and you find m squared. But in the number 48, you have a negative 1 over 4x squared. Okay, it is like negative x squared over 4. So it's like the negative x squared divided by 4. So you multiply by 4 or by negative 4 to cancel it. Or you can say it's x squared times negative 1 over 4. You know that if you multiply or if you have a fraction divide by and another same fraction, what you have to do, you keep the first fraction as it is times the reciprocal of the second one. So here I mean, but I write the shortest one. Here, if I say negative 1 over 4 times x squared, I mean by dividing my negative 1 over 4 or by multiplying by the reciprocal.
So when there is
Can you repeat the question?
when it's a fraction, we change it into multiplication.
Yeah, here, yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, and that's mean if you have a fraction, you can divide, okay, you can divide by the same fraction, then solve it as you know. Shortest way, every time, if you have a fraction and you want to keep the number of the x squared is 1, multiply it by the reciprocal. It is the same. I mean here, you have it like negative 1 over 4 x squared plus 3 equals 0. Okay, here divide by negative 1 over 4, divide by, let's say that here we have a number 3 also. Now divide by negative 1 over 4. Look at the first one. Negative 1 over 4 divide by negative 1 over 4 is 1. Is it right?
Yes.
The second one here, it is a negative 3 divide by negative 1 over 4. That's mean keep, I told you every time, if you have subtracted in the subtraction or in division, keep the first fraction as it is, change the division to be multiplication, and write the reciprocal of negative 1 over 4, which is negative 4 over 1. Then you multiply it and get the answer. This is the way. There's another way, the shortest one, that's here. To cancel negative 1 over 4, what you have to do, you multiply it by 4 over negative 1, which is by the reciprocal. Since you multiplied here, you multiplied the second side. 4, negative 1, so which is x squared. And up here, you will get the final answer quickly, in fastest way. So both of them, you can do it with the same way. And both
Teacher,
of
it's
them,
no solution.
Yeah, why? X squared equal positive 12. So that's
What's the square root of 12?
it's not be fine. It will be like you didn't take them how to solve it, but you can't make it like this. 12 is 3 times 4, so it's square root of 3 times square root of 4. So it is 2 square root of 3. Did you take it this way before? I think you'll take it in grade 9. So just keep it
No,
as square
teacher.
root of 12. Oh, that's no. That's why. So keep it as square root of 12.
Square root of 12. Okay.
F12, yes. Now come back to Dana. Yes, Dana. We have negative 1 over 4 x squared plus 3 equals 0. As I told you now, here we have a fraction multiplied by x squared, then added to 3 equals 0. Minus 3 minus 3. Why? Because I want to isolate a variable on the side and the numbers on the other side. So negative 1 over 4 x squared equal negative 3. Then, as I told you, I want to keep x squared as 1x squared. So by dividing by negative 1 over 4, by dividing by negative 1 over 4, canceling each other, you will find that x squared is negative 3 divided by negative 1 over 4, which is negative 3 times, as I told you, if you divide, change it to multiply and write the reciprocal of negative 1 over 4, which is negative 4 over 1. And the answer will be positive 12. Is it clear now? This is what? This is an x squared. I want now to find a solution. What I have to do? Using what? The square root in both sides. By using the square root, you will find that x is positive or negative square root or negative. No, this is not 16, this is 12. Is it clear now, Dana?
Yes, miss. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So let's do number 46, which have the same idea. In number 46 here, we have half t squared minus 4 equals 0. What is the first step?
Isolate the numbers +4 +4.
Yeah, so I have now half t squared equal 4. Then divide by half, divide by half. What you will get now, t squared equal 4 divided by half. Is it right?
Yes.
Which
Yes.
is t squared, the first
Yes.
number, keep it as it is. Change the division to be as multiply and write the reciprocal of half, which is 2. So t squared equals 8. What about of t?
T only. T squared equal 4. No.
Positive, negative what?
There
Teacher, we
is.
don't have.
You don't have.
Okay, so keep it as square root of 8.
Okay.
Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes.
But teacher, what we will say for negative, positive, the square root of 8? It will be no solution or what?
No. There is a solution, but it's not an integer. It's a it will be a rational number. like square root of 8 is 2.8. So the solutions here as positive 2.8 and negative 2.8.
Okay.
Okay.
Teacher,
Now,
how did we? Why did we multiply the 4 by the 2?
this is how can you divide if you have a whole number. Divide by any fraction. The way is keep the number as it is, change the division to be as multiply, and write the reciprocal of half, which is 2. 2 over 1.
Oh, okay. Much, teacher.
Okay? Got that?
Thank you so much, teacher.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yes, teacher.